Oh, we started! Hi everybody, welcome to Blank Trigger Gamers. My name is Revson, and we're here for a special video, a commentary about my top 5 scariest horror games, or my top favorites, which you guys may have heard of, or you guys may not have ever heard of before, but I'm pretty sure you have. So starting with number 1, we have System Shock 2. Now, System Shock 2 was a great game. I'm a very big fan of cyberpunk genre. You know, there's Ghost in the Shell. I haven't seen the movie, and I'm kind of scared. Blade Runner, for example, is a great movie. In terms of that, System Shock is a cyberpunk horror game. So, and what was great about it is that it scared the out of you. So you're like on this spaceship, you're like a derelict spaceship, and then you woke up, you're by yourself, and then you're going through the place, and just keep in mind, System Shock 2 is a pretty old game. It's not like the modern stuff you see now with the nice graphics and 3Ds and stuff like that, so it might not be as scary to this generation. The game was scare you. You would go around, you have minimal amount of weapons that you can get, minimal stuff you can keep you can heal. BioShock was a spiritual successor to System Shock, so people who played BioShock did enjoy how, some scary parts, jump scares and stuff in that game. System Shock 2 had plenty of that, and plenty of more crazy that could happen. Second game would be Fatal Frame 3, The Tormented Soul. I was a fan of Fatal Frame. I never really played the first one until I found it for like 10 bucks when Game Crazy was still around. The thing with that game is Fatal Frame wasn't really much, people didn't really hear about it too much when the first one came out. It became more like a cult classic type game. Now, Fatal Frame 2, when that came out, people actually started to pick it up, started to realize that, hey, this is actually a pretty fun and really scary game. I played Fatal Frame 2 plenty of times. I can tell you for sure it's a great game, but like all of them that starts out, they all start out pretty slow. Overall, I did not find Fatal Frame 2 to be too scary compared to 3. 3 was scary because most of the time I remember a scene where I was inside a house playing as the main character, and then at some point I'd be looking underneath my desk and there was a ghost girl, so I jumped in. And then at some point too, when you're going to the bathroom, there's a scene there too where you constantly look at the mirror, then there's some like that same ghost girl who's been following you around the house will eventually pop out of that mirror really slowly, and you have to sit there and watch the cutscene. You have to endure that scariness. You can't just look away, because if you do look away, you turn back and you're like, oh, she's around my face. So overall, color-wise, graphics and everything, I thought Fatal Frame 3 was a lot darker in terms of even storyline. When you're going around in this other world, the streams that she has where you're dealing with these ghosts and everything else, it's a lot darker. It's like if you're watching The Matrix and everything in the is green and black. Fatal Frame 2, everything was red and black, and Fatal Frame 3, everything was blue and black. I thought that might give it a little bit of a scarier thing, but that game is worth playing. It's worth mentioning. It's also a pretty rare game now. All of Fatal Frames are. But if you ever find yourself, give it a chance. If you ever find Fatal Frame 3, please give it a shot. You'll not sleep for a while. Number 3 on my games would be Silent Hill 3. Now everybody knows Silent Hill. It's a great game. The first one was good, the second one was good, the third one was good, the fourth one sucked. And fifth one was nice and combative, but it wasn't too scary, and then everything else after that. Everybody remember PT? You remember PT. That should have came out. Didn't come out. You know why it didn't come out? Because So, Silent Hill 3, classic game. The reason why I chose that one over Silent Hill 2, there was a lot of hype for Silent Hill 2. Sure, James, blah 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 blah, his wife, blah blah blah, he's stupid, blah blah. But overall, it's a pretty disturbing game. Silent Hill 3 I thought was a lot more disturbing, mostly because it was canon to the first game. Because your main character is Heather, which is actually the daughter of Harry from the first Silent Hill, the one that he'd been going through the whole game trying to find and save. So Silent Hill 3 technically is the canon game, and when that first came out, I didn't really get the chance to play when it first came out. I played a little bit later after that. I went into the game, and she's sitting in this mall area, and then this end of small sanctuary song started playing, which I still love. Every time I play it, I get scared, but I love it. And you have your little cutscene with this detective guy who will be very, integral into your story. So once you escape him, because you're thinking he's out to get you for some reason, you go into the small area and automatically everything changes. So what pretty much that means that instead of the first and second one, well, second one James actually went into Silent Hill. But the place didn't actually change. It was just some foggy town, and when you hear the siren, that's when the whole world changes. Silent Hill 3, that's a different story. You don't get transported to Silent Hill. The Silent Hill comes to you, and that's what makes it even scarier. So what that means is, no matter where you're at in the game, let's say in real life, you're sitting, or like me, right here in this room, all of a sudden, everything starts to rip off the walls and becomes like a Silent Hill setting. You'll still have this bookcase back here, a bunch of these posters back here, but they're all covered in blood, and this one's all like, rotten wood and all that stuff. That was the scariest thing about Silent Hill 3, other than Marvel. I hate that Marvel. I didn't want to go on a merry-go-round for the longest time because of that. I don't even know why I would go on a merry-go-round. I'm a 25-year-old man. Why would I want to be on a merry-go-round? Overall, Silent Hill 3, definitely one of my top games. Simply because the fear comes to you and you don't go to it. So that's a lot. It hits home a little bit more. Number 8, number 4, that would be I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. You may have not heard this game. It's actually a short story written by this author. The game itself is pretty good. So the setting of the game is there is several characters which you play throughout the storyline. And there's this one computer called AM, which purpose is to torture you for eternity. The reason for that is because AM hates humanity. AM's the reason why, first off, let's say it's an apocalypse. It's an apocalyptic horror game. AM destroyed all of humanity and decided to keep a few people around to constantly torture them over and over and over. It's like a cybernetic, definitely a cyberpunk game. It's like a cybernetic version of hell, which is horrible. And what I specifically remember that is one of the characters, Ellen, there was a very disturbing rape scene that went on there, and it will definitely get into your mind. It will definitely like pierce a needle, and then you'll feel a little bit of that emotion for a while after the game. Now, it's a PC game. It's like that adventure kind of moving where you kind of point and click type of game, but it's definitely worth it because every single character that you go through and you experience their constant eternal like damnation throughout the game, it's gonna make you feel disturbed psychologically and everything else. Number 5 game, one of the best games on GameCube you will ever get. If you still have your GameCube and you find this game, you grab it. Eternal Darkness is a fantastic game. Now, the great thing about Eternal Darkness is that if you had like one of those old like tube TVs back then and you were playing this game, what it specifically does is it screws you over by thinking that you somehow broke your controller, or your TV broke, or you just sat on your remote control and it changed it to video too. Now, the first time that happened, I was tricked. I thought I broke my controller and I thought I changed the channel on my TV. I usually do that anyways. No, this game does that to physically you. Like it knows that you're playing this game, and there's parts in there where it will purposely you in that sense to think that something else is wrong. Like you could be walking somewhere and there would be the statue and you're thinking, hey, it's kind of looking at me, but you're not really sure. And you walk away for a bit, you come back to your room, you realize the statue's head just turned from this to just straight up staring at your face and is slowly watching you as you move. It's those small, subtle scariness and psychological things that happen in this game that makes it great. And like I said, it's one of the greatest games that was made on the GameCube, and it is the only one of its kind because nobody else decided to make a sequel, and I really don't think it needs a sequel. Eternal Darkness, great game for GameCube. If you still have that, please, if you find it, please pick it up. It is a very rare game now on its own. So, and if you really want to have a good small scare, maybe involving some ancient ruins, some Romans or some stuff like that, it's a lot scarier than I make it sound. My top 5 games, that's it right there. That would always be my top 5 games. My name is Repson. Thank you for watching. Blank Trigger Gamers. Stay triggered.
Thanks for watching our video. If you liked it, then give it a like. If you want more, then subscribe to our channel. So this is Trigger Strifey of BTG saying stay triggered, and I'll see you next time.